Hey film fans, welcome to CinePro. Your ultimate hub for all movie recaps, from heartwarming classics to the latest blockbusters. The movie begins with a beautiful girl named Laura sitting in a restaurant. We learn that Laura has come to meet a guy she got to know online, and this is their first time meeting in person. While she's waiting, he calls her to apologize for being late, explaining that he's delayed because he can't find the restaurant. He asks her to stay on the phone with him until he finds the place, and Laura agrees, chatting with him and telling him about herself. She mentions that she's a university professor who teaches students how to make films, specifically gory horror films. They continue talking until he tells her he's close to the location and asks her to step outside the restaurant so he can spot her. She steps outside and asks him where he is, but he says he's still on his way and asks her to meet him halfway. He lures her into a dark, empty street, where a masked person suddenly appears, attacks her, stabs her, and kills her in a horrifying way. After killing her, the attacker removes his mask and outfit, revealing that he is a student named Jason. We find out that Jason is a student at the university where Laura works, but he is a sadistic and mentally disturbed individual who enjoys killing people. After finishing off his professor, Jason takes her belongings and leaves the scene without being seen. Jason returns home, and we discover that he is not the only one who is crazy and mentally unstable. His roommate and friend Greg, who lives with him, is also a murderer like him. The two are preparing to kill two sisters named Sam and Tara. However, Greg is not home, so Jason decides to wait for him to return. After some time, Jason gets a call from Greg and answers it casually, only to be shocked when he realizes that the voice on the phone is not Greg's. The person on the other end starts to scare Jason, telling him that he is in the house with him. At first, Jason gets a little worried, but then he thinks Greg is playing a prank on him and changing his voice. He decides to play along and keeps talking to the mysterious caller. The caller eventually asks Jason to open the fridge in the house. When Jason opens it, he's horrified to find Greg's body inside. At that moment, a masked figure appears, attacks Jason, and kills him as well. Meanwhile, we shift to one of the sisters Jason and Greg were planning to kill. We see the older sister, Sam, talking to a therapist and opening up about her feelings. From her conversation, we learn that Sam and her younger sister, Tara, were victims of an attempted murder last year. The attacker was someone named Richie, who Sam was in a relationship with before he tried to kill her and her sister. Because of this, Sam struggles with trust issues and finds it hard to trust anyone easily. Sam continues talking to the therapist and confesses that her father was a serial killer. Because of this, many people talk about her and spread rumors, claiming that she is also a killer and mentally unstable like her father. All of this has affected Sam's mental health and caused problems in her life. That's why Sam attends therapy sessions, trying to overcome her past and move on with her life. After finishing her session with the therapist, Sam returns to the house she shares with her sister Tara and their friend Quinn. When Sam gets home, she doesn't find Tara there, so she asks Quinn about her. Quinn tells her that Tara went out to a party with friends. Sam becomes very worried because she's been overly protective of her sister ever since the attempted murder they experienced last year. Quinn tries to calm Sam down, assuring her that Tara's friends are with her and there's no need to worry. However, Sam remains anxious and decides to go to the party herself. At the party, we see Tara being approached by a guy who takes advantage of the fact that she's been drinking and isn't fully aware. Just as the guy is about to take her away from the party, Sam arrives and confronts him, hitting him in front of everyone. This embarrasses Tara in front of her friends and peers, and she storms out of the party, upset. Sam follows her and explains that she acted out of concern for her. Tara argues with Sam, accusing her of being overly protective and treating her like a child since the incident last year. She tells Sam that she needs her personal space and asks her to back off, then walks away. Tara returns home, and her friend Chad follows her to comfort her. Chad is aware of everything Sam and Tara have been through because he was with them during the attempted murder and faced danger alongside them. Chad tells Tara that her sister has every right to be worried about her because what happened last year was not easy. He asks her to forgive her sister and understand what she's going through. Tara agrees with him and starts to calm down. While they're talking, Quinn and Tay enters the room to speak with Tara, so Chad leaves to give them privacy. Quinn chats with Tara, telling her that she understands her feelings because she's going through a similar situation. She reveals that her brother recently passed away, and ever since then, her father, Billy, has been overly protective of her and watches her every move. However, she doesn't mind her father's behavior because she understands his feelings and knows what he's going through. Quinn advises Tara not to be upset with her sister, as what happened to them must have been difficult for both of them. Meanwhile, Sam is with her boyfriend, Danny. Sam is in a relationship with Danny, but she keeps it a secret from everyone around her until her life becomes more stable and she can announce their relationship. Later, Sam returns home and sees a news report on TV about the murders of Jason and Greg. They learn that the Ghostface mask was found near the bodies. As soon as Sam hears this, she panics and decides to take her sister and leave the city immediately. However, before they can do anything, Sam gets a call from Quinn's father, who is a police detective working on Jason and Greg's case. He asks Sam to come to the police station immediately because her ID was found in Jason and Greg's apartment. On their way to the station, Sam receives a call from Richie, the man who tried to kill her and her sister last year. Both sisters are shocked because Richie is dead. Sam killed him herself in self-defense. Sam decides to answer the call to understand what's happening, only to discover that the person on the other end is the new killer. The killer confesses to her about killing Jason and Greg and threatens her, saying he won't rest until he gets rid of her and her sister. Suddenly, a masked person attacks them and tries to stab them, but Sam and Tara manage to escape and enter a nearby shop, seeking help from the people there. However, the killer follows them, killing anyone in his way to reach them. After eliminating everyone in the shop, he starts searching for Sam and Tara, who are hiding from him. Before he can catch them, the police arrive, forcing the killer to flee. Sam and Tara miraculously survive. Later, the sisters go to the police station, where Detective Billy begins questioning them. Sam is confused about how her ID ended up in Jason and Greg's apartment and why the killer is targeting her and her sister. Billy informs her that the killer left his mask in Jason and Greg's apartment, and the mask belongs to Richie. This indicates a connection between the killer and Richie, though the nature of the link is still unknown. Detective Billy introduces Sam and Tara to federal investigator Kirby, who has come to assist in the case to find the killer. However, Sam is uninterested and tells Billy that she plans to take her sister and leave the city. Billy warns her that her sister is on the suspect list, which upsets Sam. She takes her sister and leaves the station. Outside, they find many reporters waiting for them, including a famous journalist named Gail. Upon seeing her, Sam and Tara confront her, and Tara even hits her. Gail had been involved in last year's incident, helping them survive, but later exploited their story by writing a book about it for profit. The book also tarnished Sam's image, portraying her as crazy and unstable like her father. Gail apologizes, claiming someone else would have written about it if she hadn't. She asks for their forgiveness, but they refuse and tell her to stay away from them before leaving. Days pass, and Detective Billy and Investigator Kirby continue their efforts to find the killer but make no progress. Meanwhile, rumors about Sam intensify, with many accusing her of being behind the murders, labeling her as insane and a killer like her father. These accusations deeply upset Sam. To lift her spirits, Tara, Chad, and their friends gather to cheer her up. They spend time chatting, joking, and enjoying each other's company. While they are distracted, the killer sneaks into the house unnoticed. Danny, Sam's boyfriend and their neighbor, sees the killer from his apartment and tries to warn Sam and her friends by calling her. However, Sam doesn't answer, and Danny fails to alert them. The killer attacks, killing Quinn and chasing the others. They attempt to escape, with Chad and Tara managing to flee the building. Sam and her friends lock themselves in a room. Danny calls to them from his apartment window and extends a ladder from his window to theirs to help them escape before the killer breaks down the door. Sam crosses the ladder first, followed by another person who successfully makes it across. However, the last person doesn't make it in time as the killer breaks in and causes her to fall from the ladder. The killer escapes but is expected to return for Sam and Tara. The next day, the police arrive at the apartment to investigate. Sam and Tara meet Detective Billy, who is devastated and unable to control his emotions over the death of his daughter Quinn. He informs them that the case has been taken away from him after his daughter's murder, but he vows not to rest until he finds the killer and avenges her death. Meanwhile, Chad suspects a young man named Ethan of being the killer because Ethan, who is their friend and Tara's friend, wasn't with them the night of the attack. Chad confronts Ethan, demanding to know where he was that night. Ethan explains that he was attending a class with many witnesses who can confirm his presence. Chad can't accuse him further but decides to keep an eye on him. Gail arrives and offers to help Sam and Tara find the killer, asking them to put their differences aside until the killer is caught and they are safe. They reluctantly agree to her temporary involvement. Recognizing her experience as a journalist could be useful, Gail reveals that she had been investigating Jason and Greg's deaths and discovered they had purchased a secret building unknown to anyone. They decide to visit the building, hoping to find clues about the killer. Upon reaching the location, they discover it is a museum containing items related to serial killers, all of whom used the same mask. They realize Jason and Greg were obsessed with these killers and were imitating them by committing murders. However, the new killer is different, killing for a specific purpose rather than mere obsession. They find nothing in the museum that leads them to the killer but remain determined to continue their investigation. The next day, they devise a plan to use Sam and Tara as bait, leaving them unprotected to lure the killer. Investigator Kirby plans to trace the killer's phone call to locate him. The plan works, and the killer calls Sam. However, he reveals that he knows all their plans. He deliberately called them to let them trace his location, which leads them to Gail's apartment. They rush there, knowing Gail is alone and in danger. At the same time, the killer attacks Gail, attempting to kill her. He stabs her and is about to end her life when Sam and Tara arrive just in time, shooting at the killer. However, he escapes quickly. The police arrive and take Gail to the hospital, where she survives miraculously. After the attack on Gail, Sam, Tara, and Chad decide to take matters into their own hands and eliminate the killer before he eliminates them. They plan to lure the killer to Jason and Greg's museum and kill him there. They enlist the help of Billy and Kirby for their plan. They prepare themselves and head to the museum, waiting for the killer. Kirby stays with them while Detective Billy is on his way. While waiting, Sam receives a call from Billy, who tells her he contacted the federal office and discovered something about Kirby that 2 months ago. They let her go after discovering that she was mentally unstable. There's a high chance that Kirby is the killer. Sam gets scared and quickly goes to her sister and Chad to warn them. Meanwhile, Tara and Chad are together and finally confess their love for each other. But suddenly, the killer arrives and attacks them. They clash with him, and Sam comes to their aid. The three of them manage to fight off the killer and stop him. However, the surprise is that before they finish him off, a second masked killer appears, stabbing Chad and brutally killing him in front of them. Naturally, Sam and Tara are devastated by the scene but try to pull themselves together to confront the killers. At this moment, Kirby intervenes and shoots at the two masked killers, forcing them away from Sam and Tara. Then, Detective Billy arrives and shoots Kirby, revealing that Billy is the third accomplice of the two masked killers. The surprise continues as the two masked killers are revealed to be Ethan and Quinn, Sam and Tara's friends. It turns out that Quinn is still alive and faked her death at the beginning to divert suspicion away from her. We also learn that Quinn and Ethan are siblings, the children of Detective Billy. Richie, who tried to kill Sam last year, is their third brother. They commit all these crimes to avenge Richie's death, even though Sam killed Richie in self-defense. But Billy and his children don't care about that. Their only goal is to kill Sam and Tara and carry out their revenge. Before they can kill them, Kirby, who is still alive, intervenes and shoots Billy. Chaos ensues, and Sam and Tara take advantage of the confusion. Tara manages to stab Ethan and kill him, while Sam takes Kirby's gun and shoots Quinn, killing her. Only Billy remains. However, Sam and Tara are injured and unable to confront him directly. Sam decides to turn the tables on Billy, using the same tactics he and his children used. She dons the mask and outfit they wore and calls Billy, altering her voice as they did. Sam terrifies and unsettles him to weaken him before attacking. She surprises him with a sudden attack and stabs him multiple times until he dies. Afterward, Sam removes the mask and outfit, takes her sister, and they leave the scene. The police arrive, and Danny is with them to check on Sam's safety. The ambulance takes Kirby and Chad, who miraculously survived. Sam and Tara decide to move on with their lives as if nothing happened. Sam decides to give Tara her personal space and let her live her life freely. Tara, on the other hand, decides to see a therapist to help her overcome the trauma she experienced. Each of them continues their life with the person they love. Sam with Danny, and Tara with Chad. And that's how the movie ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next summary.